Hello everyone, I am Tassiana Marini. I'm clinical marketing for liver cancer at Siemens Healthineers, and it's a pleasure. And I wanted to thank you very much from the Oncology organization to have me here today. Basically, for all cancer types, early detection enables patients to assess curative therapies that can improve their survival and quality of their lives. For HCC is not different, but raising awareness is even more important than for other cancers, as the liver typically doesn't present symptoms until HCC has progressed to an advanced stage. When diagnosed in early stage, patient can expect a survival longer than 5 years, whereas for advanced stage can be as little as 2 years. So when detected in early stage, there are minimally invasive treatments available, such as ablation therapy, for example, which allows patients to return to their daily life with a very short time intervention. And the reality is healthcare systems worldwide are facing a multitude of challenges, from limited funding to shortage of qualified staff, to geographical barriers and limitations in local infrastructure, combined with the aging of the population and the rising of burden of chronic disease. Given that over 90% of HCC cases occur in a specific patient population, that is in those with chronic liver disease, many patients are diagnosed through surveillance using blood tests and ultrasonography. But even though the risk population is well defined, a recent study reported that less than 25% of patients at risk undergo surveillance. And because of that, around 50% of HCC cases globally have been diagnosed incidentally on cross-sectional imaging performed for other reasons or due to symptomatic advanced stage of the cancer. So the lack of awareness is one of the reasons why patients are not undergoing surveillance. It is therefore of highest importance to identify patients at risk in the general population based on risk factors such as obesity and diabetes, for example, and test them with a simple blood test such as 5-4 or the ELF test. In addition to this, the surveillance for cancer is currently based on a one-size-fits-all approach that recommends the biannual ultrasonography for patients with cirrhosis. But we know that ultrasound has poor sensitivity for patients with obesity. So EASL, therefore, has recently proposed a risk-based surveillance strategy that suggests magnetic resonance imaging for highest risk patients and the blood-based biomarkers for the lower risk patients. For that reason, there is an increased interest on the blood-based biomarkers and MRI for screening purpose. The surveillance epidemiologic end results reported that HCC is the faster increasing cause of cancer-related death in the USA since the earliest 2000s. And if this trend continues, the HCC is projected to become the third leading cause of cancer-related death by 2030. Just to give a comparison perspective, a study published by Professor Masatoshi Kudo explained why in Japan is a suitable model for the world regarding HCC management comparing to the Western countries. Because of a comprehensive surveillance program, Japan has around 62% of all HCC cases diagnosed in curatively treatable early stage, comparing to only 70% in USA. And as I mentioned before, if you detect cancer early, better treatment outcome can be achieved. In more details, Japan established the world's best HCC practice systems because of a couple of reasons. First, the establishment of a national-wide surveillance systems with ultrasound and blood tumor markers every 3 to 6 months for patients at risk. And that is all covered by insurance. Precise diagnosis using of contrast-enhanced ultrasound and MRI, and highly precise pathological diagnosis tools, which leads in the end for accurate treatment selection and high quality of the treatment techniques. And of course, combined with skilled and well-trained professionals. But last but not least, multimodal approach together with hepatologists, radiologists, surgeons, and oncologists are crucial for this success. So even though the social, political, and economic status varies from country to country and influence heavily on the HCC management, I believe all the Western countries can learn something from Japan's achievements. When our health is at risk, we rely on physicians to make the best possible decision, right? From quickly early diagnosis to the most effective treatments and follow-ups. By constantly bringing breakthrough innovation to the market, Siemens Healthineers help healthcare professionals to deliver high-quality care, leading to the best possible outcome for those patients. Almost 3 from 4 of all critical clinical decisions in the world are influenced by our solutions. We are at the center of the clinical decision making, and that includes liver disease and liver cancer management. Our innovative imaging and laboratory diagnosis techniques aims to accelerate the path from risk stratification, diagnosis, therapy to survivorship. Our lab diagnostics and imaging portfolio includes solutions to improve risk stratification before the development of cancer. The ELF test is particularly useful for identification of active liver fibrosis, and it can be used prognostically in patients with advanced fibrosis due to NASH to identify who is most at risk of progressing to cirrhosis. And as cirrhosis is a well-established risk factor for hepatocellular carcinoma, use of ELF test offers hope for early intervention strategies. And when it comes to differential diagnosis for better therapy selection, the magnetic resonance imaging is an extremely powerful imaging tool. It has proven to play a pivotal role on the fight against cancer. But the costs, we know that the cost and the complexity of deploying a conventional MRI scanners limited its reach. As a result, more than 50% of people on our planet still have no access to this potential life-changing technology. But Siemens Healthineers has a comprehensive MR portfolio that makes MR imaging accessible for underserved population. All Siemens MR scanners are equipped with integrated AI solutions, artificial intelligence solutions, that provide fast scanning, robust diagnostic imaging, and deliver detailed insights into disease progression. Our ultrasound portfolio can also classify hepatitis steatosis in less than 1 minute, delivering quantitative assessment for liver fat in a similar clinical utility as the MRI-PDFF. All Siemens Healthineers products are designed to serve challenging patients' population, and we strive to bring patients to care they need as early as possible as we move one step closer to our vision of a world without fear of cancer. And to stay successful in meeting today's challenges, hospitals are increasingly focused on an interdisciplinary disease-oriented setup across the department borders. We wanted to support those institutions along this journey by being their partners along disease pathway. So 90% of leading hospitals have chosen to give us their trust to work with us. So we collaborate with researchers, partners, caregivers, and global institutions. Collaborations with clinical experts are a most important cornerstone for our activities to demonstrate the clinical evidence of the technology and prove that it results in better outcome for the patients. In addition, we are engaging ourselves to transforming the systems of care with the goals of expanding access to care, particularly in low and middle income countries. And we wanted to support decentralized care that is closer to the patients and build a smartly connected systems where digitalization helps patients to receive high quality of care.